In the heart of the Roman Empire, beyond the bustling markets of Rome and the grand marble forums, there was a hidden valley, known only to emperors and their most trusted generals. This valley was said to be protected by spirits older than Rome itself. Deep within stood an obsidian gate, engraved with runes of unknown origin. It was whispered that behind this gate lived the Eternal Legion, warriors who never aged, bound to the empire by an ancient pact. Many believed it was only a myth, until Emperor Septimus sent his bravest centurion, Marcus Varus, to find the truth.
Marcus had fought in Germania, in Britannia, and across the deserts of Africa. He had seen men fall to sword, arrow, and time, yet he had heard tales that the Eternal Legion could not die. When the emperor commanded him to investigate, Marcus gathered 20 of his most loyal soldiers. They marched for days through fog-choked forests, icy rivers, and jagged cliffs. The deeper they went, the stranger the world became. Trees whispered in voices they could not understand, and shadows moved without a source. By the seventh day, Marcus realized they were being guided, not lost.
They came upon the obsidian gate at dawn. The black stone shimmered like wet glass, though no rain had fallen. Strange symbols glowed faintly in crimson light, pulsing like a heartbeat. Two statues flanked the entrance, gigantic armored figures, whose eyes seemed to follow every movement. As Marcus approached, the runes blazed brighter, and the gate groaned open as if moved by unseen hands. Beyond lay a road paved with gold and bone, stretching into a mist that swallowed all vision. Marcus ordered his men to proceed, though a deep dread stirred in each heart.
Inside the mist, the air felt heavy, thick with the scent of iron and ash. The road led them to a colossal courtyard lit by torches that burned with blue fire. At its center stood hundreds of soldiers clad in armor unlike any Marcus had seen, dark bronze with silver veins, glowing faintly as if alive. Their faces were hidden behind masks of stone, but Marcus felt their gaze pierce him. One stepped forward, speaking in a language older than Latin. The voice echoed in his mind. "You have entered the realm of the undying. Why have you come?"
Marcus answered boldly, declaring he came under the command of Emperor Septimus to seek alliance. The masked warrior tilted his head, as if measuring his soul. "Alliance is not given, it is earned in blood." At this, the Eternal Legion formed a circle around Marcus and his men. The ground trembled, and from the shadows emerged beasts unlike any from Rome's bestiaries, serpents with the heads of lions, wolves with molten eyes, and massive winged creatures of bone. Marcus drew his gladius, rallying his men as the monsters roared and charged.
The battle was chaos. Swords clanged against scales harder than steel. Shields splintered under monstrous jaws. Marcus fought like a man possessed, leaping upon the back of a winged beast and driving his blade into its neck. His men fell one by one, yet fought without fear. Hours passed, or perhaps minutes. Time felt strange in this place. At last, the beasts lay slain, their bodies dissolving into smoke that vanished into the mist. The masked leader approached, placing a gauntleted hand on Marcus's shoulder. "You have survived the trial of shadows. Now you may learn the truth."
They were led into a grand hall carved from crystal and obsidian. At its center was a throne of gold, upon which sat a figure neither alive nor dead. His armor was older than the city of Rome itself, and in his hand he held a sword of fire. The masked warriors knelt before him. "I am Cassian, last general of Atlantis," the figure spoke, his voice like thunder. "When my city fell, I forged a pact with the gods to protect the next great empire. That empire is now Rome."
Cassian revealed that the Eternal Legion was bound to defend Rome from threats beyond mortal comprehension, beings from the void, spirits of chaos, and creatures born before the earth itself. However, the pact came with a cost. No member of the Legion could ever leave the hidden realm unless the empire itself faced total ruin. Marcus asked why he had been summoned. Cassian's eyes glowed brighter. "The gods whisper of a coming darkness, one that your emperor does not yet see. You must return and prepare him." Marcus wanted to know the nature of this darkness. Cassian explained that beyond the northern mountains, an ancient gate was weakening. This gate had been sealed by the Atlanteans to imprison the nameless king, a being who devoured empires and fed on the souls of armies. If it broke, not even the Eternal Legion could stop him alone. Marcus felt the weight of destiny press upon his shoulders. The Legion, Cassian said, would join Rome's cause only if Marcus proved himself worthy by carrying the flame of Eternus back to the Emperor. The flame of Eternus was no ordinary fire. It was a living light, said to never extinguish and to burn through lies and shadows. Cassian warned that many would try to steal it before Marcus reached Rome, for it was the only force capable of sealing the nameless king once more. The flame was handed to Marcus inside a crystal urn, warm yet strangely weightless. As he turned to leave, Cassian spoke one last time. "If you fail, Marcus Verus, Rome will burn before the next moon." The journey back was more perilous than the arrival. The mist seemed to resist their departure, and unseen creatures whispered from the darkness. Marcus lost 3 more men before they even reached the obsidian gate. Once outside, they found the forest changed. Its trees were blackened, and the air carried the scent of decay. Night fell unnaturally fast, and with it came the Shadowborn. Humanoid figures with skin like tar and eyes like dying embers. They struck without warning, forcing Marcus and his surviving men to fight under a blood-red moon. By dawn, only Marcus and 2 soldiers remained, bloodied but alive. The flame of Eternus still glowed, untouched by the horrors of the night. As they neared the outskirts of Roman lands, they saw smoke rising from distant villages. Refugees spoke of strange beasts raiding at night, vanishing before sunrise. Marcus knew these were the heralds of the nameless king. Time was slipping away. They pushed harder, riding day and night toward the capital, each mile feeling heavier as the burden of their mission deepened. Upon reaching Rome, Marcus demanded audience with Emperor Septimius. The court mocked his talk of monsters and forgotten gods, but when the urn was opened, the living flame erupted, casting shadows in the shapes of horrors unseen. The emperor fell silent, fear flashing in his eyes. Marcus warned that without preparation, Rome would share the fate of Atlantis. Septimius, though proud, ordered the legions to be readied and messengers sent to every province. The Eternal Legion, he decided, would be summoned when the darkness arrived. As days passed, strange omens plagued the empire. Blood in the Tiber, flocks of birds flying backward, and statues weeping tears of black oil. The people whispered of curses, while priests claimed the gods were at war. Marcus trained relentlessly, forging new weapons in secret with the smiths of Vulcan's temple. At night, he dreamt of a colossal shadow rising over Rome, its crown of bones scraping the sky. Each time, the dream ended with the flame flickering and dying. One storm-filled night, a horn sounded from the northern watchtowers. Marcus raced to the walls where a sea of darkness approached, carrying with it a cold that froze breath mid-air. The nameless king had come. Behind Marcus, the legions of Rome readied their shields, and in the far distance, glowing through the mist, came the Eternal Legion, marching in perfect silence. The battle for Rome's soul was about to begin, and Marcus knew that if they failed, history would remember the empire not for its glory, but for the night it vanished into legend. When the first light of dawn broke over the battlefield, the shadows were gone, and silence fell upon the smoking ruins beyond Rome's walls. The nameless king had vanished into the mist, wounded but not destroyed. The Eternal Legion faded back into their realm, leaving only their ghostly footprints on the blood-soaked earth. Marcus stood alone at the gates, the flame of Eternus still burning in his grasp, its light now softer, almost peaceful. He knew the war was not over, only delayed. Rome had survived one night, but the darkness would return, and when it did, so would he.